I'm back on my bullshit. You ain't seen no one like me since Lauren Hill back in the 90s, bitch.
For at least like 10 years, someone coughing in public is gonna be weird. I'm gonna have to learn how to talk to a camera. So today was my first day in class, and my professor was coughing a whole bunch, and he was like, guys, don't worry, I'm a smoker. The smoker is like the best alternative nowadays instead of coughing for any other reason. So everyone's worldview has pretty much changed, at least here in America. You know, there's no more Travis Scott mosh pits and, you know, all these college parties. Except for that last one, there's still those college parties. Colleges have already closed due to, you know, hundreds of cases at the schools. You know, my friend goes to Ohio State, and from his dorm, he said he could see a dorm filled with like 40 students and a sign at the bottom that said, "White Claws served here." Schools can't close yet, though, because then they can't take your money. God, I just feel something always touching me. Human interaction is only decreasing. You thought social media was bad? I mean, look at COVID. That blows that shit out of the water. Maybe it's just because I live in New York, but when I see someone come into Foot Locker without a mask, I'm like, what are you doing, dog? No one's gonna want to be around the guy that's coughing up a storm nowadays. And it's kind of weird how quickly we all got used to this. I mean, it hasn't even been a year. There's people that aren't really, you know, following protocol. But, you know, I feel like if those people just listened in the start when we all stayed home for 2 weeks, this might have been gone already. All right, so this is the part of the video where it pretty much shifts to being about me. Great, because I'm so important. I'm a fan of Hunter S. Thompson's work. On one of his works, The Kentucky Derby is Decadent and Depraved, he attends the Kentucky Derby. At the start, he meets this stereotypical Southern man, right? Comes up to him, offers him a drink, and they go over to the bar. He, you know, instructs him to not order a cocktail as to not seem like a... I'm not going to say it. Thompson goes on to make up a story to this man that at the Derby, the Black Panthers are going to come and they're going to ravage the whole thing and they're going to ruin the event. He's privy to this information because he's a Playboy photographer and they instructed him to, you know, wear like shields and helmets to protect himself. This obviously freaks the guy out, and then Hunter S. Thompson just leaves. All he did was make up a quick story to entertain himself. And yeah, it might have been a thing to do, but it was still pretty funny, you got to admit. While he's there, instead of covering the race, you know, the horse is running on the track, he ends up meeting with this English artist, Ralph Steadman, and they just kind of observe the crowd. It's just full of a whole bunch of crazy drunk guys. It's kind of interesting. The crowd is more interesting than the actual event. He wrote this in the 70s, and people still pretty much act the same way out in public at certain events. I mean, have you ever been to a basketball game and not seen a group of overly masculine drunk guys yelling at the players like they're the coach? But this is all stopped now because of COVID. Obviously, there's no more big concerts. All those people that love to get together can't really get their kicks anymore of acting a fool in a place where everyone's pretty much like-minded, rooting for the same thing. Everything's going to be social distance comedy shows and masks galore. It sucks. It's a crazy world, and for a while, I'm not going to be able to go out and see the crowd that I've been wanting to see. I grew up in the suburbs my entire life. There's not really a lot of opportunity to see a lot of people going at once. I mean, yeah, there's some sketchy people around, and in the bad neighborhoods you'll see a hooker or two, but other than that, nothing really too crazy. There were no places where, you know, you would go to an event, but the crowd and the people there was more interesting than the actual event. Now that I'm in college, I wanted to, you know, go out and meet more people, do more things, because growing up I was pretty introverted. I want to meet, observe, talk to, and learn about all these decadent and depraved people. I guess I'll just have to wait 5 more years.